Hey everyone, Ray Alfalla here. We will be looking at the A car at New Hampshire with the fixed setup using the VRS software. So right here we're going to go to the data packs, picking the NiS 2017 season, finding New Hampshire right here, which will be race 19. And we're going to click the Learn Track feature. Now this will take us to our whichever lap you want to up here. Right now we're going to go lap 1, which is our hot lap, which will be 29.58. And this will show, how to get around New Hampshire with the fixed setup. So in 3 and 4, I ran, really high up by the wall. Got a good run off turn 4. Crossing the line here, taking the green flag. And now with the Cup car, you're going to want to carry speed, and you're going to want to run kind of like this third groove. So the first groove would be, right next to the yellow line, and there's seams right here on the track. There's like hash marks. So this would be the second groove, and then this would be the third groove, and then, above, where the asphalt changes color, that's kind of out of the groove. Although that can work if the track rubber's in, or if you overdrive a little bit, you can go up here and kind of like bring it back down and diamond the corner. But for the Cup car in this setup, we're going to run right here, kind of using this, where the color changes. Use that kind of as your wall, if you will. If you were to run right up next to this as being your wall, and then entering the corner, this seam right here is your apron, and then you're gonna cross down into the second groove off the corner. Watch for some tire spin as the track, the elevation goes down off the corner right there. Again, entering. We're going to go back here a little bit. As you can see, the braking is, up to, this is basically, a big short track. So where, the 1.5 mile stuff, we're using 10 to 20% brake. Here, you're almost using 50 initially. Then getting off the brake slowly, to let the car rotate. Again, getting up here a little bit high above this, the seam right here where the colors change. That's okay as long as you can bring it back down on exit, get yourself a straight shot off the corner. And that's a 29.58 around New Hampshire with the fixed setup. Now we're going to go to lap 10. So you go up here to laps. Click again right here where it says lap 1. And it'll take you to the correct session automatically. And we're going to go pick right here lap 10. It'll load lap 10. Now we're going to enter turn 1. Again, pretty much the same. A lot of it depends on how the setup is. If your setup is tight, you can keep it kind of on the bottom and hook the apron, not the yellow one. I will show you right here as you enter the turn 3. So as I was saying, this is basically lane 1, lane 2, lane 3. So the apron right here in lane 1 has less banking than the rest of the track. So between here and here, there's a transition right there, and you can put your left sides on that, and it'll help the car turn a little bit. But if your setup is so tight that it won't even do that, it might actually make it worse. But just kind of something to keep in mind. This setup was turning okay, so I could actually run that higher line and didn't need to use that flatter part as an aid. Now here we start lap 20. So our hot lap was a 29.58. This will be a 30.58, so a second off. And as you can see, I'm running a lower line right here just to show you how it's like. And this setup is still pretty tight. So, and as you can see right there, I'm going to rewind. It's pretty tight, but this car, having as much power as it does, you come off the corner right here, and I barely clipped that flatter part, and it kind of, de-wedged the car, got it a little bit sideways. And then right here coming off the corner right there, as you can see, the banking changes. You can even see the wall right here as being as an angle, and then it flattens out. So there's a crest right there where your car wants to step out as it did right there on exit. So just be aware of that. Be ready to correct. As we enter turn 3 right here, I'm trying again at a little bit lower line. It doesn't seem to work all that great, but it's not too terrible either. You're gonna have to run down there if you're gonna pass the car anyway, so I might as well practice it. Now this is lap 30, and by now we're a second and a half off our hot lap. Again, I'm going back kind of to the regular line, you know, start up high, bring it down low, make sure you get a straight shot up off the corner to avoid spinning those tires. If you burn up this right rear at this track, it'll make the entry to the corner really, really difficult. As you know, it's basically all about mechanical grip at this track, and then obviously, you know, the exit, you'll just be lacking drive off. So that completes lap 30. We are starting lap 40 now on the run, 10 laps to go. Again, easy on the brake. I'm going to rewind here to show you, you know, because we have less front grip, I'm actually up to about 66% brake at, you know, at maximum. And you're going to want to have to press that brake really hard early on. As you can see right here, the red graph right here. You know, this is pretty much what you would see on a road course and on a short track, just heavy braking zones. You want to brake really heavy at the beginning and then slowly get off the brake, you know, and allow the front end to turn. So, you know, you want to get your hardest braking in on the straight line, but as soon as that corner starts, you don't want to be too much on the brakes. It'll cause, if you're too heavily on the brakes, it'll cause you to hit the splitter on the ground, and it'll cause the car to just basically plow off the track, not turn. Again, heavy brake and you'll slowly get off the brake and then slowly get back on the gas and then finally on the gas almost all the way on the straightaway. Now here we start lap 50, our final lap. It's about 2 seconds of fall off at this point, so we enter turn 1 right here. Pretty much the same line as usual. Wait for the car to turn and easy on that throttle. Again, coming off that corner, you can spin that right rear tire. Again, heavy on the brake. As you can see, this is a very good representation on the graph right here. Heavy on the brake right there, and then slow, you know, pretty aggressively get off the throttle. Let it coast a little bit in the center of the corner, and then, you know, get back on the throttle aggressively at first, but then gradually up to 100% throttle, and that completes 50 laps with the fixed setup at New Hampshire. So now I'll be using the VRS software to compare 2 laps. So you go to your driving stats, you find the correct session right here. I'll be, you know, New Hampshire with the Cup car. You load that session, and right here where it says improvement, target, and opportunities, you're going to select see video, and basically it'll load 2 laps. It'll be a side-by-side video, but for this you'll want to just it'll be kind of easier to tell if you just disable the side-by-side with these squares up here. So it'll just show 1 lap. When we go up here to laps, and now I'm going to compare. So normally, you know, the fall off is pretty linear, you know, a few hundreds every lap. So I'm going to look for an anomaly in the whole run. So right here, you know, I see that I'm running, you know, an 8, a 9, an O, an O, an O. And then I run a 2, and then I run an O again. So obviously there was a mistake on lap 37 right there. And I'm going to check. So I'm going to compare lap 36, and then over here on the right, lap 37. And now the video will show me lap 36. And I'll click play right here. So we're entering turn 1. And as you can see, entering turn 1. So on the graph right here, what we're seeing, the comparison is lap 37. So on the video, it shows lap 36, which is the faster lap. And here, this comparison shows lap 37. So obviously lap 37, I tried to go in there lower. And I think that's where I lost that time. Because right now, if you look at the time delta right here, we're watching the faster lap. And the time delta is on the faster lap. So right now, I'm actually a 10 slower. But I'm probably... That's because I went into turn 1 on the slower lap. I went into turn 1 lower, and that's why I'm you know, up ahead, basically, if you will. But right now, I'm going to get on the throttle, going to get a really good run off the corner compared to the other lap. And as you can see right there, I'm kind of breaking even. So the big difference, I guess, happens in 3 and 4. I go up the track, so right there I'm actually 2/10 slower, but then right there getting that big run off the corner. So I'm going to rewind right here on the lap. So as you can see, going on the backstretch, entering turn 3, the faster lap is, you know, about 16 thousandths slower entering turn 3. And I'm going to go entering turn 1 right here. And here's the difference. So the slower lap, I went in there 5 feet lower. So I'm basically running that lower line. And look at the amount of time that I'm losing on just running the higher line on entry. I'm over here 2/10 slower at this point. That's because the slower lap, I went in there aggressively on the bottom. See, I'm 4 feet to the left on, the lap 37. The video showing lap 36. But here's the big difference. Right now, I'm getting that straight shot off the corner. Once I get on the gas, boom, right there, and get a nice, really big run off the corner and almost 2/10 better. One of the features we offer at Virtual Racing School is live coaching. There's a one-on-one coach and there's also a group coach. So if you go to group classes right here, you can see who is offering the coaching, how many seats are taken. So you can choose to join the class. It'll be 4 weeks, 4 sessions, 1 hour each. And a coach will sit with a group of drivers and critique, whatever they're doing, whether it be, through the analyzer or on the racetrack. And if you also like a one-on-one session, you just click on coaches right here. And you just choose whoever you want to as coach. So if you want me as coach, you click on my name. You go to request session and pick whatever you like. So, that's one of the features we offer here at VRS. And, we hope to see you at a live coaching session soon.